The snowflakes outside glowed in the soft orange of street lamps. Inside, the living room smelled of pine and fresh tinsel. A record player hummed with Bing Crosby's White Christmas, and the static between tracks was as familiar as the creak of the old sofa. Kids peeked from behind heavy curtains, waiting for that first snow, or maybe a glimpse of Santa's sleigh. Though deep down, they knew it was really Dad sneaking in with another box of ornaments.
A unique gift.
This was
or
Christmas
Eagle
in the
Holiday gift
1960s
certificates,
and
available
70s.
in any amount,
Warm,
redeemable
simple,
for anything
and
in
full
the
of
store.
wonder.
Fresh fruit
A time
baskets
when
and
excitement wasn't delivered in 2 days. It was built over weeks. We didn't scroll through gift ideas. We circled them in Sears catalogs with red crayons. Lights tangled, cookies burned, and yet somehow it all felt perfect. In this video, we're stepping back into that cozy glow. We'll revisit forgotten traditions, the smell of aluminum trees, the hum of black and white TV specials, the joy of homemade ornaments, and the laughter of families crowding around one camera flash. We'll travel through kitchens, toy aisles, and snowy front yards to rediscover what made those holidays magical, and maybe, just maybe, remember why they mattered so deeply. The aluminum Christmas tree. That shimmering silver tree was the future, or so it seemed. The 1960s brought space-age sparkle into the living room, reflecting every color from the rotating light wheel. It hummed with modern optimism, yet by the late 70s it disappeared as real pine regained its throne. Those who had one remember the sound of the color wheel turning, the faint ozone scent from electric lights, and that feeling that Christmas had entered the space age. Bubble lights and fragile glass ornaments. Tiny bubbling lights like liquid jewels shimmered along branches. The gentle gurgle of colored liquid was mesmerizing. You could stare for hours. Beside them hung thin glass ornaments that shattered with a single drop. Each had a story, bought from Woolworths, given by a neighbor, or passed from Grandma. Now most are gone, replaced by plastic, but the memory of their glow still warms the mind. That piney real tree smell. Before artificial trees took over, bringing home a fresh pine was a family event. The crisp scent filled the entire house, mingling with wood smoke and sugar cookies. Dad would saw off the trunk in the garage, sap sticking to his hands. Needles scattered like green confetti. That smell, that living reminder of winter, told you Christmas had truly begun. The crackle of a fireplace. For many, it wasn't Christmas without a fire. The sound of logs popping, stockings hanging slightly askew, and the soft glow lighting up faces. Families sat together, sipping cocoa, TV murmuring in the background. Today, we stream virtual fireplaces, but they can't replace that earthy, smoky warmth that made the living room feel like the center of the world. Tinsel and the magic mess. Those shiny silver icicles clung to everything: hair, carpet, pets. Kids tossed them on the tree in clumps. Parents painstakingly spread them strand by strand. Under the glow of colored bulbs, they transformed into rivers of light. Cleaning them up was endless, but no one cared, because for a few shining nights, it looked like magic. Handmade ornaments from school. Paper chains, salt dough stars, and macaroni angels, proudly hung no matter how crooked. The paint flaked, the glue smelled faintly of vinegar, and yet every piece had a story. Parents saved them year after year, even when they faded. These weren't decorations, they were proof that Christmas was handmade. The annual Sears Wish Book. That thick, glossy catalog was pure childhood magic. You'd spend hours circling toy trucks, dolls, and train sets with a red pen. Prices were tiny, dreams were big. For many kids, flipping through those pages was the real start of Christmas, a tradition of imagination and hope that no app could ever replicate. Stringing popcorn and cranberries. The kitchen smelled like butter and sugar, but the real work happened around a bowl of popcorn. Threading each piece with a needle, fingers sticky, laughter constant. The garlands weren't perfect, but that was the point. It was slow, shared, and beautifully human. Family photo night. Dad with the flashbulb camera, Mom fixing everyone's hair, kids fidgeting. Say cheese, and that brilliant pop of light that left you seeing spots. You waited days for film to develop, never knowing if anyone's eyes were open. Those imperfect, overexposed photos now hold more warmth than any phone snapshot could. Midnight mass and candlelight. Churches filled with soft singing and the scent of wax and pine. Families walked through cold air, breath fogging, hearts full. Even for those not deeply religious, that candlelight felt sacred, a moment where everything slowed and Christmas became quiet, glowing peace. Downtown department stores. Before malls, Main Street was the stage of Christmas. Windows dressed in moving displays, elves hammering, trains circling snowy villages. The air smelled of roasted peanuts and cold metal lampposts. Shoppers carried paper bags, not plastic, and carolers' voices echoed between the buildings. 5-and-dime treasures.
Woolworth's aisles held everything from candy canes to tin toys. Kids shopped for parents with a few coins, maybe a handkerchief or a tiny bottle of perfume. It wasn't the cost that mattered, it was the pride of giving something bought all by myself. The joy of wrapping paper. Bright reds, golds, and that unmistakable crinkle sound. Some families reused every scrap, others went wild with ribbons. By morning, the living room looked like a paper snowstorm, the kind of mess that no one wanted to clean too soon. Catalog ordering and waiting. You mailed your order, then waited, sometimes weeks, for the brown box to arrive. Kids checked the mailbox daily, hearts pounding. That anticipation was its own kind of gift, a feeling that's vanished in today's world of instant delivery. The toys that defined eras. From easy bake ovens to G.I. Joes and Light Brights, toys in the 60s and 70s carried personality. They weren't just products, they were memories of commercials, jingles, and that one big box under the tree. The feel of plastic, the smell of newness, those simple joys were everything. Homemade fudge and cookies. Kitchens turned into candy factories. Cocoa simmered, sugar burned, and ovens worked overtime. Recipes scribbled on index cards got passed down like heirlooms. One taste could transport you, sweet, familiar, comforting. Fruitcakes and tins of joy. Every house had one, the dense fruitcake wrapped in foil, heavy as a brick. Whether you loved or hated it, it was part of the ritual. Cookie tins with floral patterns made rounds among neighbors, each one filled with something slightly different but equally thoughtful. Eggnog with a kick. Adults' glasses clanked, kids sipped the safe version. The creamy nutmeg scent filled the room. Homemade eggnog was a badge of pride, frothy, messy, and unforgettable. Christmas dinners that never ended. The table groaned with casseroles, Jell-O salads, and carved turkey. The clatter of dishes mixed with conversation that rolled into evening. No one rushed. It was about being together, not finishing fast. Candy canes and ribbon candy. Candy dishes sparkled with old-fashioned sweets, the kind that stuck to your teeth and left a peppermint chill in the air. Just seeing them felt like Christmas had truly arrived. TV specials everyone watched. From Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to A Charlie Brown Christmas, these weren't just shows, they were events. Families gathered around one screen, commercials and all. The music, the claymation, the simplicity. It felt like magic that only happened once a year. Radio carols and DJs. Before playlists, there was the radio. Fuzzy signals, cheerful hosts, and the same songs every December. When your favorite came on, you turned it up and sang along. Those familiar intros were like warm hugs through the speakers. Holiday movies at theaters. Lines wrapped around old marquees. The smell of popcorn mixed with cold air. Watching It's a Wonderful Life on the big screen wasn't about the movie, it was about community, the feeling that everyone shared the same joy. Christmas records and vinyl pops. Each spin of the record brought crackles and skips that became part of the music. Nat King Cole, Elvis, the Carpenters, their voices filled homes with velvet nostalgia. That analog warmth can't be recreated by streaming. Neighborhood caroling. Bundled in scarves, neighbors sang under frosty streetlights. Breath clouds, candle drips, laughter, and the promise of cocoa at the end. Simple, sincere, and almost vanished today. Homemade decorations everywhere. Garages turned into craft stations, paper stars, styrofoam snowmen, and glitter everywhere. Homes weren't decorated to impress, they were decorated to belong. Every window glowed with personality. Volunteer drives and church fairs. The true heart of the holidays was giving. Toy drives, soup kitchens, church bazaars. Communities worked together quietly without social media applause. That humble generosity defined the season. Neighborhood light contests. Stringing bulbs in freezing air, ladders wobbling, kids cheering. Some houses blinked in patterns, others glowed soft and steady. The pride wasn't in perfection, it was in participation. Snow days and sled hills. The moment school closed, kids ran for their sleds. The sound of laughter carried across icy air. Wet gloves, red cheeks, steaming cocoa afterward. Memories stitched into childhood. The Christmas morning chaos. Paper flying, shouts of joy, adults with coffee and cameras. The room smelled like pine and pancakes. For a few precious hours, the world was small, safe, and perfect. As the wrapping paper settled and the last carol faded, the magic of those decades lingered, not in things, but in togetherness. The 1960s and 70s gave us Christmases built from warmth, imperfection, and love. There were fewer gadgets, fewer distractions, but somehow more connection. Today, we have more convenience, but less pause. Yet when we remember those flickering lights, that hum of the record player, or the laughter around a messy dinner table, we rediscover what Christmas really meant. The shared heartbeat of family, community, and time well spent. Maybe we can't go back, but we can carry those traditions forward, in spirit, in stories, and in the simple joy of remembering.